the leader of the Conservative Party to not get those classified briefings means that nobody in his party, not him, nobody in a position of power knows the names of these individuals and can take appropriate action.
All right, let's bring in Lydia Miljan, political analyst here with the University of Windsor. And Lydia, we want to be clear that Pierre Poilievre does have a position on this. He has said, look, if I get that kind of clearance, it means that anything I hear will be secret and I'm not allowed to talk about it. And I don't like that. It sort of handcuffs me from being able to be transparent. What's your take on what's going on here? Because it's very convoluted and frankly quite confusing.
It is confusing because, we hear testimony, from leaders of CISA saying there are no traitors in Parliament. So there's that argument. And then we have the Prime Minister, very much like Joe McCarthy, saying, I have a list of names, but I'm not going to show you the names. And then Poilievre saying, well, show them all. He's basically saying, a pox in all your houses. If there are people that are compromised, show them all. I don't want to be hamstrung by the secrecy that I have to sign off on if I have this briefing. So it's a bit of a stalemate, but it's also very much politics, and you're seeing the partisans go after each other quite strongly. Certainly, Mr. Trudeau wanted to use this opportunity to have a full frontal attack against Poilievre to basically shake away some of his supporters, trying to suggest that he's hiding something or he doesn't want to act appropriately. Meanwhile, Poilievre's using it as an opportunity to shoot back at the Prime Minister, saying, well, if there are traitors amongst us, let's hear who they all are, not just singling out the Conservatives. And we did hear a testimony yesterday that Trudeau did admit that there were some Liberals on that list as well.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. That's very important. It's not just Conservatives. There are Liberals as well. And you also rightly point out that the Liberals and the NDP are taking this as an opportunity politically to try and attack Pierre Poilievre. And we've seen a lot of this, Lydia, in recent months. They know the Conservatives are doing very well in the polls. They're angry about that. They can't seem to understand why. And so every opportunity they get, they go after Poilievre.
Yeah, so I think what they're trying to do is frame this as a character issue, frame this as, is this person the right person to lead? Can he, and they want to basically chip away at that. They want to say, he's not ready to be Prime Minister because he's unwilling to make the hard decisions, or he's unwilling to make sure that all of his candidates are perfectly able and willing to stand for office. Again, it falls a little bit short when we know that there are parliamentarians suspected. And again, there's no real evidence. So it's not like you get the list and then you can say, that's it, I'm going to oust them from caucus, because that would be a public way of showing it. So, as the Prime Minister mentioned yesterday, there are tools that a leader can use, basically not signing the nomination papers or not letting them be part of a shadow cabinet. But apart from that, he didn't say that they could kick him out of the caucus or do anything else, given the fact that there isn't, that they have to have due process. So I think that this is where it's not going to work out that well for Mr. Trudeau or Mr. Singh making these attacks on Poilievre, because Poilievre's response has simply been, let's shine a light on all of it. And those leaders aren't willing to go that far.